Hello everyone and welcome to another Jiu-Jitsu tournament video. This is a tournament Gabriel and I did in Wichita, Kansas. The rules of this were a little bit different than normal. This one was a submission only tournament, so the only way to win is to submit your opponent, and you get a longer time frame. For adults it was 10 minutes and kids was 4-minute matches. So without further ado, let's begin. Gabriel's match was first. A lot of the kids in his group were a little undersized and less experienced. So next tournament, we hope to get a more experienced kid. So Gabe shoots for a double leg right there. The kid shrimps out, but Gabe just turns the corner, does the rear naked choke, takes the back, and gets a submission very quickly. Um, that was his first match. This one with the girl, she brings him down, which is actually a good takedown. She pulls guard right there. Gabriel's trying to pass her guard, and he's smashing, and right there he is able to get around her guard. He looks like he's got a arm triangle of some sorts right there, and he gets the submission there. The girl's really a cute little girl, and I thought she did really well for her size and experience level, and they get a fun little handshake there at the end. And what I liked about this tournament, the referees were really informal and really fun. So right there, Gabriel wins a uh, very easy gold, but nevertheless he won it. This girl was even smaller than the other two, um, and I will say though she might have put up the best fight against him. So right away she goes for grips, and right there they're just kind of at 50-50. Gabe's going for the leg there, but he doesn't have anything right there. He's not low enough, and she's doing a good job controlling Gabe's arms. She falls there but gets back up. Finally, I tell Gabe to abandon the single leg and just go for a judo foot sweep right there. And so that's what he does. And Gabe climbs up to the mount position there. So at this point, I was telling Gabe to go ahead and cross face her, and she's doing a good job of bumping Gabe and getting him off his balance, which is Gabe needs to scoot his knees up. He's looking at me, looking at what to do, trying to listen. Like, hey, it's not working, Dad. um, Finally, I believe Gabe is going to go for an Americana right here. Um, he's going to pin her right arm to the mat. There that is. He's going to get his grip. He's going to lift her arm up and get the tap right there. But I will say that girl offered a lot of resistance for Gabe. And she fought pretty hard. Okay, so this is my first match. It was against this guy here. Um, this was by far the longest match that I had, and here we go. So him and I are just kind of both grip fighting right here. He was coming at me pretty hard, and I just pulled half guard right there. I just pulled guard just to get this on the ground. Um, and right there, he is in my open guard right there. I scooted my knee in, and I was able to off balance him, and but he got right back up. So right here, you can see I have his head in my arm. I'm going for a guillotine choke. The problem was I could not get a good grip. See how his hands are fighting my hands underneath right there? He's trying to pry my hands off, and he did a pretty good job at it. And I just could not get that grip tight. And I was going for that guillotine, and it was a lot harder in the gi than in the no gi to get that. So finally, I abandon it, and I just take his back. Although I don't get both hooks in though, and that's why he's able to escape the back. He's putting a lot of pressure on me. I fall to my side there, and he's in half guard again. So I've got his one leg trapped right there, and I'm keeping him off of me. And I've got my knee shield, which is keeping distance right there. Finally, I scoop under and I switch my hips and I grab his leg and I go ahead and sweep. And that's one of the just a classic half guard sweep that I've used works pretty well if I can get under there. So right here I have him in side control. Remember, this is submission only, so I just can't pin him and camp out here. I have to be going for something in order to win the match. And so right here I believe I'm going to go for some type of spin choke. See, I go knee on belly. I got my knee on his stomach there, but he's able to escape his hips, and he's on his side now, which he's starting to escape. And he actually does escape my side control. So, and right here I go for it again. I was working on that guillotine, practicing that. I take his back right there. I just turn the corner, put my hooks in, and now I have his back. This is one area I needed to work on, which was finishing from the back. He's doing a good job getting away from my choke arm side. I would prefer him to my right side, and he's doing a good job of defending his neck as well. See how he's grabbing my hands. He's not allowing me to choke him. I was going for his collar. He was so focused on, he was so worried about his neck that I wasn't able to really get anything from that. What I should have done was probably transition to something else. Right here, he's about to escape the back. I thought I was going to flatten him out, but it turns out we just go into mount here. So I've got him mounted. Right here I'm going for S mount, and I'm going to try and get a triangle from S mount. And I went for an arm bar right there, and I have his arm, but I don't think it was as secure. Right there, he's stacking me to get out of the arm bar, and I just kind of rolled with it, and I still have his arm right there. And finally it slips out, and now my head, so I remember my head being stuck in between his legs right there. It was not a great feeling. I kind of just wiggled it out right there, and I eventually got out of that. And so right there I just kind of fall to my side. I don't really know what was going on there. All this time, every time I had him in the closed guard, he kept just putting so much pressure, and so that time I just rolled backwards, and it ended up on top. It was kind of easy to off balance him because he was kind of off balancing himself. So here so right here he stands up when he's in my guard. I'm going for a scissor sweep here, and now I have him in half guard, and I scissor swept him there. And right here I've got him in side control again. I was really trying to either do the guillotine or the arm triangle. Those are my two bread and butter chokes that I like to do. Especially competition, there's not a lot of time to be messing around with stuff that you're not familiar with. So right here I'm trying to go for an arm triangle, and I've got all my weight there. My head is trying to get around his arm, but it couldn't quite make it. And I've got him mounted there. And he's trying to bridge me off here. And I had that arm triangle. I really thought I had that this was getting pretty close, and he won't stop moving though. And I have to say, it was pretty effective. Right there I try to put my knee on his stomach and finish the arm triangle. And I get rolled off. I lost my balance. And we eventually are about to hit the scores table there, so we have to reset. I had that arm triangle, and it must have not been secure, and he eventually just kind of wiggled out of it. So right here we reset, and I just stand up, and I always take the top position if he lets me. So right there I have a arm in guillotine choke. I didn't think that that was going to work though, so I'm just kind of hanging out here for a while, and he just backs off, and right there, see how his arm's up? I'm looking to pop that arm over. I'm gonna pop it over right there, right there. Right there is where I pop it over. I put my head on that side, and now I grab my own bicep, and I'm really trying to get that tight. I'm trying to get that as tight as I can in the mount position here. Squeezing, he has his arm trapped, and right there is where I get the tap. So he tapped out right there, and finally, I get my first win, and it was a great feeling. Really exhausting match, but and that one was that I definitely had to earn that one. But he was a really good opponent too, though, and there were a lot of times where I thought he wasn't getting out of something, and he did. So, but nevertheless, a win is a win, and my first jiu-jitsu win in competition. Okay, so right here I'm going for a takedown, and I get judo thrown by this guy. And I talked to this guy's dad after. He said he was a wrestler since he was 8 years old, so right away he's already got me in a bad position. I managed to get back to half guard, but then he's doing, see how he's got my head in between that arm, and he was just right there. He connects I believe he connects his hands, and I tried to roll back and then roll this way, but he would not let go of my neck, and I remember he was cranking my neck so hard with all of his might, and it was I just tapped to it. A neck crank is not something I wanted to let go on for too long, so that one didn't last too long. But anyways, here we go. So here's our no-gi match against the same guy who I went against the first time. Right there, he goes for a two. I do get the guillotine there, and I pull him in closed guard, and I trap him. I had it pretty tight there, and right there I just get the tap. So really quickly he went for a double. He went for a takedown, and his neck was completely exposed, and I just was able to guillotine him. So that match ended quickly. Right here you'll see an exchange. I did not feel this guy was respecting me at all. He didn't want to grapple, so I just didn't grapple either until he was going to do something. So right there he goes for a wrestling takedown, and I just pull close guard. So right here I had a triangle. Right there. If I can kick my and he was able to move my right leg over. And I've got half guard here, but a big mistake on my part. I have half guard. He's not getting out of my half guard. But see how he's got my neck? My neck is completely exposed. I did not do a good job. I'm trying to roll out of this. My neck is once again getting cranked, and I tried to roll out of it again, and it's just getting so tight. He is just cranking on that thing, and yeah, I wasn't getting out of that. So my neck was completely exposed on that one. Nevertheless, I get silver in that one. I get silver. Gabe gets first place. That's all of us. Some takeaways from today. The guillotine was effective in no-gi. Arm triangles are slow chokes, so those are going to take a bit longer time. I need to work on my S-mount transition and attacking the back, and definitely need to protect my neck when I'm in half guard. I got caught on that twice, but overall I thought it was a great tournament, and thanks for watching.